morning all, good morning. Back for another class. How exciting. We're almost getting to the end of this painting. It's absolutely amazing. Shout out for Debbie. I know you've got to go to an employment agency this morning, so good luck with that. Hi Maxine, Deanna, Reborn Under the Sun, Maria and Andrea and Gigi. Hope everyone's doing really well today. Yes, we're doing so good. We're getting really close to the end of all this painting. It's exciting. You are my sunshine. I love your name. Hello. Hi, Sonia. Hi, Sharon. How are you? Cat's gone. Hi, Kylie and Julia. Hope everyone's doing really, really well today. New subscriber, welcome to our channel. I appreciate you being on here and saying hello. Hi, Brandy. Reborn on the Sun said same here, but also practicing on my doll. In 2 weeks, I'm going to order some BB. Yay! And a big happy birthday to Reborn Under the Sun. Mwah. I hope you had an absolutely beautiful day. I saw that you went out to dinner with your dad, was it? That's pretty cool. I hope you had a great day. Got spoiled. Hi, Maria. Amy said, I'm just here watching. Wanted to say hi. Hi, Amy. How are you doing? Jeannie's here. Hello. Your girls were sick. I saw this morning that you wanted a clone of yourself because your girls are sick. Thanks, Julie, for doing all your sharing. As usual, doing a perfect job. And thank you so much for putting the time out to do that. I appreciate it. Nana's Nursery. Hi. And Tina. How you going, Tina? You're very welcome, Reborn Under the Sun. Sharon said, I'm rooting. I don't root, but my Ella needs more hair. Ugh, doesn't it take forever? Sometimes, have you ever heard my text message, which is Bewitched Nose Twitch? I really wish I was bewitched sometimes so I could just all of a sudden have some hair on it. Oh my God, it's such a wish. You had lots of fun, Reborn Under the Sun. That's good. Sonia said, oh, that's no good, Annie. Hope they're feeling better. Thank you again, Julia, for sharing my fundraiser. That's the GoFundMe. I have to sort of shout out to you guys. I really don't mind when you give a super chat. A few people do super chat from time to time. I'm grateful with all graciousness, personally. But just want to let you know that YouTube actually takes most of that. It's quite shocking. So if you do want to give $1 here or there, you better to go to the GoFundMe, because GoFundMe doesn't sort of take everything like YouTube does. I don't know why they do that, but yeah, they take quite a bit of it, quite a hunk of it. So just wanted to let you know that fundraiser is like I said, it's not compulsory. It's just if you're feeling inspired and you think, oh my God, I've got a spare $5, I'm going to give it to Annette for helping, and I do appreciate it. It just goes back into what I'm doing here, and for me to do more of it, and actually to inspire me, encourage me. Sometimes I get up and I think, oh, I'm a bit tired today and I don't want to, but it's nice to get a little bit of encouragement sometimes. Photo Mastify said, I'm doing okay. I'm hoping to get my Bambi Friday. Pray for me. Definitely. You Are My Sunshine said, good day to you, and thanks for sharing your reborning techniques with us. Very helpful. I'm glad they're helpful. Thank you for saying that. Terry's here. Hi, Terry. How are you? Julia's sharing again. That's the event. If anyone wants to go to the event on Facebook, that's where you see like me sharing the pictures of the babies we're creating. Mama says hi, Annie and everyone. Rebecca said, I'm new to the page. Oh, I hope all these newbies are clicking that subscribe button. That'd be really great. Chris is here. Hi, Chris. I'm doing good. And he said, thanks and hi to all in chat. If Mouse looks adorable today, thanks. Why do you do that? Sharon says, I don't know when to take a break. So my body said, that's so me too, Sharon. Tara says, hi to all. Hello. Jeannie says, Annette, you were so right about spending the money on good mohair for rooting. Right? I know. It makes such a difference, doesn't it? Reborn Under the Sun said, oh yes, Annette, I had, oh, a cheeseburger, cherry Coke, and onion rings. Sounds yum. Poppings, is that Poppings Reborn Nursery? Sorry, Mary says hi, Annette. How are you? Kathy said hi to Annette and everyone. Hello. Rebecca says, I have used heat set on my first baby, but I found this page and thought maybe I'd give this type a method a try. Sweet. It's always good to give everything a try, isn't it? And then you might find that you can even combine the two methods. Sometimes I find that works as well, and it's always great. The Sunny Bunny. Wow, I love that. I love your name. So finally I'm on your live. Yay. Hi, Angela. Angela's on her way over to the mainland today. Thank you for popping in to say hello. Kim said, oh, and I'm going to see Angela tomorrow. I'm going to go to Angela's place. I'm so excited. I get a night off. I'm going to go for a sleepover like a teenager. I'm going to cause so much trouble, Angela. You're going to wish you didn't let me come. Sorry. Kim says, hi, Annette. Just to say hi and thank you. Oh, my God, thank you. I have to go to bed now as it's 1 a.m. here. We'll watch tomorrow. Have fun, everyone. Thanks for just popping in to say hello to that. I appreciate that so much. Don't forget, everyone, I really love the thumbs up. That is more important to me than money. It's just fun to watch those thumbs pop up there. So don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Angel, hello, how are you? Miss Debbie said hello. If we send you PayPal, friends and family, you'll get 100%. That's true too. But, like I said, I don't expect. It's really not an expectation. It's just if someone feels inspired and they want to help out a little bit. It always helps. Oh, good on you, Annie. Chris said 302 days till Christmas. Oh my God, it's coming so quick. I have to get you to do a countdown on my grandbaby coming. Hi, Christine Johns. How are you? I'm glad you're on here. Kendra, hi. Kenda, sorry. How are you? Rebecca said, yep, you did last week. Okay, good. Your triplets are on lay-by, Kylie. That's cool. Annie, I've got to do the. I can't really chat about anything else because I'm trying to get onto these lessons. So, sorry that I'm not really answering your messages or anyone else's messages to you since it's about the class at the moment. The Sunny Bunny said, I painted my first good reborn thanks to you. Oh, and I got the confidence to paint my reborn. You gave me so much encouragement. Thank you so much. Oh, you're very, very welcome. That makes me so, so proud. I'm so happy to hear that. Hi, Vicky. Hope said, hi, Annette. How are you? Is Mateo back with you? No. Mateo's literally gone for 3 years. But he will come back to me just for a brief moment in April. He's leaving Lorna and Aaliyah's Reborn World today, actually leaving today, and he'll be on his way to Lorraine today, so it's very, very exciting. But yeah, I will see him in April briefly, and then he'll literally really go off where I won't see him for another about 2.5 years. I know, as sad as it is, but yeah, he won't be coming back to me. Not back to me to stay anyway, until after that, big time. How do we invite others? I'm not sure. There should be just if you go to the little arrow pointing that way, that's your share button, and you can copy the link and send it to others if you want to do that. Reborn Moment said, I love your tutorials. You are so awesome. Oh, thank you guys. You're so awesome. You guys are awesome. Thank you for saying that. And you wouldn't believe it, you always encourage me. I'm actually not feeling that great today. So it was a little bit of a slow burn today to get myself set up and everything. But when you say those sort of things, it really gives me the energy. I feel the energy to just go boom and, and I love it. That's why I say I love every class, because I really do. It's you guys. Okay, so I'm going to start slowing down my chatting with you guys so we can actually get started. I've got my Michael Jackson glove on. Sorry. Yeah, I need a few sequins on that. I'm sorry, Brandy. Oh, you love the new Matilda video? You teared up? I know, right? On her birthday thing, and then, when she saw Australia Zoo, you don't have... I've got to have a drink of water. You don't know how hard it is when I have to make it, and I'm feeling the emotions, and I'm feeling, oh my God. It's really great. It's so great. Okay, so I'm gonna put my water down there. Okay, oh, you love Matilda's video too, Mama? Cool. Hi, Charmin. Thank you so much for Reborn on the Sun for letting you know how to do that. Hi, Michael C. And Laurie's here. Okay, I'm just trying to get to the end of what we're up to, and then I'm going to zip it. Angie. Oh, thank you, Angie. That's so sweet of you. The super chat is like a little S or something at the bottom, and you click on it, and then you can do that. But like I said, the GoFundMe is more, it goes more directly to me than the super chat. I just don't know why. I don't know the actual odds that Facebook, YouTube take. But in the last couple of weeks, I've had a few people give me super chat, and I really didn't see the comebacks. When I got I do get a monthly YouTube payment for videos I do. It's not huge, but it really didn't go up this month more than it does any other month. So I thought, where's all that extra money going that people are actually giving to me, or some people give stuff to Will and Tiana and that, and just a bit disappointing. But I do need to find out the odds for that. Not feeling well either. Oh, hopefully, Angel, that we can give you a little bit of a boost and inspiration just hanging out with us for a bit. I know I always come out of it feeling on top of the world, so. Okay, all right. Miss Debbie said, my order from Aussie Reborn Supplies only took 5 days from Australia to Oregon. Impressive. Sometimes it can take longer, but sometimes they're on point, and it's really great, isn't it? It's not too bad when you think about it. Josephine said, I just completed my first Reborn. So excited with how it turned out. Thanks for all your instructions and tutorials. Oh, that's so good. Yes, they can do that, Annie. Thank you. Hi, Pumpkin Power. How are you feeling? Hope you're feeling better. Brandy said, yes, Super Chat should be separate from ad stuff, but a tip, which it basically is, but found my brush. Oh, you found your brushes. Cool. Okay, your son is sick. No worries, Kylie. Just thank you so much for popping in and saying hello. Hi, Erica. And Pumpkin's good. Okay, I'm going to zip. I'm sorry, everyone who comes, always about to chat. I'm not going to chat to you at the moment. Oh, hi for my Reborns. Can't help it. I'm going to start getting into this. Otherwise, you know quite well that we won't get done what we need to get done. Thank you so much, Julia, for sharing my Patreon. Very excited. Okay, so we're still working on Emerson. We're not going to change that, of course. Just to let you know, as most of you will know, that your babies look 10 times better in person, in real life, than they do in videos and pictures generally. So that's how he's going so far. He looks really, really cute. I'm quite happy with how he's turning out so good. And you will see the difference in all your paintwork when you look at the base of the neck of your Reborn. That's when you can actually see. Remember, every layer I tell you to do, I try to really push out the fact that keeping it nice and translucent, hardly visible, you won't hardly see it, but when you get to a result like this, you really do see it, and you say, hey, I really did, get that job done. So it's really, really good, and you're doing well. Okay, Pumpkin, you just stick with that, okay? Okay. No worries. Thank you so much, Nana's Nursery. That's so sweet of you. I do appreciate it. It all goes back into doing what I do. So I can just tell you I don't go out and go buy myself a new dress. All right. So last week we finished up we were doing like a blushing. And at that time we were supposed to do a blushing and a second crease. We didn't get to the second crease. My brain was probably in another planet. Teacup is here. So yes, she's just arrived to the table. And if anyone has any questions along the way for Teacup, we'll try to get to them. Don't forget she's a newbie as well, so she can answer some newbie questions from a newbie's point of view, which is really, really cool. It's really, really cool. Where was I trying to go with that? I really don't know. My brain's gone off. But anyway, yes, we're going to go back on to that last layer we did so we can do the creases. That's the second creases. That's just so we can really highlight those creases we did in the beginning. I really think that they help with the blushing and give a good look. You don't have to do it if you don't want. You know quite well everything is negotiable. You can do it the way you want. It's your baby. Then after that, we're going to do the nail beds. So, you know, just like where you see like the pinking in everyone's nails. The nail beds, the mouth and the lips again. That'll be our last sort of touch on that. Then we're going to do our finishing layer, which is the caramel, my absolute favourite layer. And then we're going to do the nail tips, which is your little white tips. Hopefully, I'm pretty sure we'll be able to get all of that done today. Hopefully we can move on.
I think we did do the creases.
You do think we did? Does anyone know if we did the second creases last week? I need all of you gang to speak together. We did do the second creasing last week. Michael says she thought we did. I need a few people to say if we did. Teacup just says she thinks we did. I just don't remember doing them, but we may have. Yes, we did. Thank you, everyone. Everyone says yes. Okay. I'm just going to say, I've got grandma brain or something like that. I
think
apologise.
we just did the creases. We wanted deeper.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you. See, I need you guys and I need Teacup to tell me these things, so we don't have to do that. So now we go on to the nail beds, the mouth and the lips, finishing layer and the nail tips. We'll definitely get all that done, and then we can start talking about the sealing of the paint and maybe even get into some of the painted eyebrows and hair. I don't really think we'll get into that this week. Sorry so much. I know that Colleen really wanted to get all that done because she's going away, but we can't rush these things, can we? Rebecca said, I skipped class 4. I'm jumping ahead. Why not? You're scared too. Okay, so don't forget, while we're working with this, I'm not going to be answering everyone's messages, okay? I just can't. I don't have the time. Otherwise, we'll run out of time and things to do. But I will be trying to look up from time to time and see if anyone's got any important questions for me. So nice and easy and quick step now is, the nail beds and the mouth and the lips. So with your paint palette, just get the 2 drops of the Magical Realism Red or whatever red you're using. If you're using Genesis, you'll just need say you're using a flat brush. Let me find a flat brush. So let's just say using this. I would just say use like half of one side. So hang on, I just need to do a little bit of a mini shake. Mix it all together. And 2 drops. So Genesis people, just half of one side of your brush. And then 1 drop of the Phthalo Blue. And 3 drops of the thinning medium. And I'll just give that a little mix around. Again, this is working with the blood red. Now, at this point too, if you don't want to work with the blood red, you can work with magenta. If you're using the Magical Realism starter pack, you can use magenta. 3, yes. And if you're using Genesis Heat Set paints, when you use the blue, just use like a tip of the edge of your brush to add in the blue. And then we're going to mix in the water, so 9 drops of water. Okay, 9 drops of water.
Half of my brush is blue and half is red.
So I'm just going to go pop and get some paper towel. I'm sorry, I'm out of my paper towel. Stepping in. Okay, so you just want to test on the paper towel. I'll do that. So we don't want the paint to be anywhere near a solid colour still. We still want a pretty translucent thing, which is not too bad. This is not too bad. Just going to get my test limb. Yeah, that's good actually. You can go at this time too whether you like the colour or not. If you're feeling it's a bit too dark, if it's a bit too purple red or a bit too maroon red and you don't like it, just add another drop of red and another drop of thinning. Now I'm just going to
What's it for again?
The nail beds and the lips again and inside the mouth. So a good way to do it, to test it, is to get your testing limb and pretend like you're doing the nail beds. So you just put a little bit on the nail. This is my testing limb. And then we get like your blending brush and pounce it on and see what you like. See, I really quite like that.
Oh, and that's big toe.
Big toe, yep.
Right.
So just test it on your testing limb and see what you think of the look. So that's what we're going to be doing at the moment.
I've lost. Where's that little? I don't know where my little one is.
There.
Yeah.
If you need a new one, if it's too flary for you, grab a new one. Okay, so I'm happy with my colour. Don't forget, it's the best thing to do is just to test with your baby, with your testing limb or with your paper towel to find out what you want.
So we blend it.
Yeah, blend it. So you need a fine brush or a little flat liner or something like that, because we're doing the lips and the nails and inside the mouth if you've got inside the mouth. Yeah, that's not too bad. It's not coming up too dark. You might want to get a little bit more water off your brush and see if it gets a bit thicker. Also make sure that you don't get any paint pooling. So use this type of one around the nails and that to keep from any paint pooling. Okay, so I'm going to start with my nails first. So just get my first foot. Always mix the paint as we're going. Get any excess paint off. So don't forget, if you're working with Genesis heat set paints, then it was half of the one side of your brush of red, the tip, just a little bit of the tip of blue, mix it together with your odorless thinners, probably only the same sort of thing, about 9 drops of the odorless. Yeah, that's good. It's really good. This isn't going to come up as a full red, it's just going to be a hint of colour on those nail beds. And basically, I generally like, you can do the whole nail if you like, but I generally, this is hard because I'm doing backwards, I just like to do like the edge, the end of it, like toward the bottom of the nail, not so much towards the top. So sort of like that. And then just with the blending brush, just a light pounce on top of it. So you can already see that nail is coloured. And I don't like to go too much to the tip, because if like, look at my nails, I don't know if that's a good point of view, but they generally graduate. So we've got, the moon of the nail down there is white, and then we've got red, and then it sort of goes like a lighter pink, and then your nail on top. So we need to sort of graduate the colour. So that's why I tend to just focus on the bottom of the nail. So do that on all your nails. If you've got really tiny nails, just do a little bit of a dot, nothing too much. Even just a line across the nail, because when you blend it with the brush, see I've just done a line on each nail there. You can hardly see it.
Which nails?
You can hardly see it. And then when I blend it, the colour comes out. So with heat set paint, you're just doing exactly the same thing. Just go over it and then either use your blending brush or even just your cosmetic wedge, especially those end parts that we ripped off. And, go over it again until you're really happy with it. Like I said, it can be really difficult working with the nails because they're so small, and a lot of us wear glasses, and so our eyes are really struggling to figure out exactly where we're painting properly. But you can see there, they're just, it's hard to really see, but you can see there's just a hint of colour on each nail. I'm going to do that big toe again, just a little bit. And don't forget to also have your fan brush out or something similar, and just make sure you get in any little creases or anything that paint might pull. You can see my big toe there, you can see the colours. Okay, so I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to go on to my next foot. Same thing.
Blending brush is too big and now my toe's purple.
Oh, no, it's fine. I can hardly see it. If it's too big, maybe you should use this one, which is a little bit
I
more.
have that.
Oh, okay.
But for some reason when I put it on, it's just going everywhere.
Okay, so do the slow one like you're doing, or if not, even get something different and just go on really light and slow. You can just see that there's just a hint of colour on each nail there. Hi Colleen, how are you? There we go. You're here. Okay, Gigi, how are you? And I'm going on to my hands.
This one's got a toe like me. You can't even see it's a little toe.
Must take after you then.
That's why its name's E.T.
If you hear any noise upstairs, Teacup Amy's upstairs asleep, so
Oh, okay.
so don't think that there's a ghost up there or children. Well, it's one child, but
Child that's not a child anymore.
yeah. Lockie starts his job today. So she come to steal some chicken for a sandwich this morning.
Oh, she's asleep already.
Yeah. She texted me and she said, if you want to come over my place and spend half an hour sitting with me with a chicken sandwich, I won't say no. I said I can't. And she was texting me at 10 o'clock last night, I'm hungry for something savoury. I said, well, I'm going to bed, so I can't help. Okay, so you can see that nail there just starting to, it's just got like that slightly different colour. That's all it needs, just a slight different colour, because it's different to the rest of the finger, of course. If the nails were exactly the same colour as the finger, well, it wouldn't work very well. So you can keep going over it a little bit more if you want to plump up the colour a bit.
Mine's half blue and half purple.
Is there blue on the brush?
No, it's a new brush. I think it's because when I did the darkening bit in there,
Yep.
I think I got the side of the nail.
Okay.
Oh, she's already got nail polish on.
Amy's not sleeping. You're on the phone. Okay, so you can see in there those little nails. And there, we're looking good. Don't forget, if anyone's just come on by chance, I'm not necessarily talking too much to you guys as I go, because I'm too busy focusing on painting, but I will glance up from time to time to see if there's anything important I need to get onto.
What do you reckon a baby with blue hair would look like?
Oh, that'd be so cool.
Would it look like one of
It's a mini
Raven's?
you. Could do. I think I've got some blue hair upstairs.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Like my blue?
Yep.
Oh, wow. Still don't know if I'm going to keep this one or give it to my niece.
Oh. Did you give her boy?
No, I haven't seen her yet.
Oh, yeah.
They're moving as well, so it's... oh, someone's here.
Courier for finally. Now, Courier has been a bit slow the last couple of days and I've been cranky at him. Okay. Let's see how we go there. You can definitely see it. Who's Amy talking to? Sounds like she's yelling at someone.
Yeah.
Couldn't be Lockley, you'd be at work. Makes me want to know what's going on. Okay, so I'm happy with that now, so I'm going to move on. So my move on is I'm moving on to the mouth and lips again. So this will be the last time, basically, that this part happens. So I'm going to do in the mouth first, and I'm just completely going over the whole inside of the mouth and tongue. If you're haven't got an open mouth, then you can just start on the lips. And you can either pinpoint where you're working, you can just do the crease. Oh, I did that. What's that?
She's fluffy.
She's fluffy. Must have been the blanket she was wrapped in.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can either do just the creases of the lips or pinpoint section of the lips, like with the lips I did the other day, left that part clear, but now I might go over it. Maria's Doll World said, question, are we going to do any more to the eyelids? I won't be. I'm happy with how it's going, but if you want to do any more little veins or anything on the eyelids, you can do it. You can go back to like the vein moment where we were doing the veins. You can use different colours, like a red or even blue, and you'll need a very, very, very fine script liner, and you'll just basically do tiny, tiny little lines. I was going to do a little scratch and things like that, so actually I'll probably have to do, we'll talk a little bit more as we go, I guess, for everyone, because I did say I was going to do a little scratch, and that would all need to be done before we go on to the ceiling. So we'll have a little look at the end of this lesson today and see what we can fit in.
What are we doing with the lips? What's it?
Just go over it again, probably go over the full bottom lip with yours and the full top lip.
With this colour?
Yep. Just make sure you get in there if you've got inside the mouth and blend it really well so you don't have any parts that are pooling in there. And the lips, like I said, I'm going to go over the full lip now. I might, where's my little thing? I might get some sponges and maybe get like your end parts of your sponge, and then once you paint over the lip, give a very, very, very soft pounce. That will make it so it doesn't blend out of the lip line. you're like,
when
what
I
am
did it with this one last, that's when it fucked out. Sorry for my language. That's when it went to the side because it was still wet paint and then it went over. So.
Well, if you don't think that's a good idea and you're happy just to keep it with the line you're using now, just do that, it's fine. I generally like to use a little sponge just to soak up any excess paint, but going really, really slow. And we don't like too much of like a edge line as well. It needs to sort of look like you don't want it looking like it's lipstick and there's a lip liner pencil on it. You need to try to have them sort of compromising and coming in together.
The red already looked like I had lip liner on it from last week.
So that's my top lip there. And you can see because I didn't paint the centre part last time, this time it's duller. It's not as bright as the outside of the lip. Sorry if I'm not getting right up and close and personal and showing you exactly what I'm doing, but I would probably make a mistake if I did because I'd be painting backwards. So this is also when you've got to determine how dark or light you want your lips as well. If you're happy with like just painting on there and the colour is, just do a lightest pounce without taking too much off. What's your problem? What don't you like?
The dark bit in the middle. That's from when I first tried to do the inside the mouth.
So let it dry for just a minute and then paint on this side and this side, not in the middle. So he's going good. And at this moment you can keep going, like let it sort of dry for a moment or two and then add some more. I saw a light part there. I'm going to see where that is. I think it's on this side. So you can go over it a few more times, either with the heat set or air dry paints. It's fine. After you've done this with the heat set paints and you're happy with how your nails and your lips and your mouth look, that's when I do suggest you go and bake it to make sure we seal what we've done there. It's going really well. So I'm happy with that. I might put a tiny little bit more inside, just up in that upper roof of the mouth there. Don't forget, you can take your time on this too. If you're working with me now, that's really, really great. But if you're doing it at another time, just take your time. There's no rush. There's no finish line here. Just take your time. And if you need to go back and do some more, that's fine as well. So I'm happy with that at the moment. Really happy with that. So I'll just see if anyone's got any questions there. Hi Edie, how are you? Deanna says, I love how Annette paints. Thank you so much. Hi Carol. And Deanna said, teacup, it looks great.
Thanks.
Carol said, do you still have the very first Reborn you painted and made? Yes, I do. I was supposed to get that down to show you guys, wasn't it? I will make sure I do get it in the coming weeks. Kenda said, Deanna, That is awesome. I actually work downtown at IU Methodist. Sorry, ladies, for the side conversion here. Funny to meet a neighbour. Dolph. Oh, isn't that cool? Through a live taking place in Australia. Isn't that amazing how sometimes you guys get together and you live close together, but you have to come to my Australian live to get together? He is starting to look really real, isn't he? He's nice. He's a nice baby. Chris said, I wish I was in class right now. That's cool. You are. You're in our class. Okay, so the next one is the exciting one when we come to that finishing caramel layer. It's looking better. You're happier with it?
Kind of not really.
Kind of not really. Give it a second maybe and go to the side where you feels a little bit lighter over again. And even the lips.
Do I that bit again?
So that coming down is annoying you?
Yeah.
I think you just have to go over it like in that little tiny crease beside it. I don't think. Or you don't have to either. Maybe just not go. It's looking much better. It's more like one colour now. And you can decide whether, because your top lips is a bit lighter, you can leave it like that, or you can decide whether you want to bring it higher a little bit in colour. I think it looks good.
I just can't picture what a baby's lips look like when they're brand new.
Yeah. True. Okay.
Blue lips mean they can't breathe.
Yeah, that's true.
Don't want a blue lips.
Michael said my lips look too pink. If they look too pink, don't be scared. Go and do another layer of blue, a really nice translucent layer of blue, and it should bring it down. And then if you're thinking, oh my God, now it's too blue, then do another layer over the top of that of just red. Don't do your blood red, just do your normal red, and it should bring it up to a nice maroon look. Maria said, I would love to see your first baby. The one I'm working on is my very first. Okay, cool. I'll have to get it out for next week. I'll have to remember that. Sonia said, Teacup, your baby is looking great too.
Thanks.
Candace said, so cute, Teacup. Reborn on the Sun said, looks great, Teacup. Deanna said, I'm retired, age 65 in 3 months. Awesome. I want to come live with you. I want to be retired. No, I don't. Mm-hmm. Carol said, I wish I could paint right next to Annette. Oh, wouldn't it be nice? Mm-hmm. We need a special time machine or something. Hey. Mama said, somehow my lip looks orange peach. Okay. Depending on what sort of paints and what colour you're working with at the moment, I would definitely say, you could get your colour wheel and do a counteract to the orange peach look with the colour. You might need like a purple or a blue. But I would definitely say go over it with a bit of purple, a light translucent shade of blue first, and then a little bit more red on top of that. Reborn on the Sun said, Carol, you can always message Annette privately. She can help you one-on-one anytime. Yeah, absolutely. I definitely can. Okay. So, I didn't bring our bin out, so we're going to be using the ground again as the bin. So we're just going to wash off our brushes now, and I'll keep seeing if anyone has any more questions. Phyllis said, sorry, I'm late. Hi, everyone. It's all good. Hope you're doing well.
We haven't marked the roll yet. So
yeah.
it's okay.
Yeah, we should start marking the roll. Okay. Phyllis, here. Reborn under the Sun, here. Gigi, here. Debbie, g'day, mate. Sorry. had to throw an Aussie tone in there. So yeah, just wipe off your brushes. Actually, I want to do that a little bit more because I really want to use this brush next.
What colour are we doing next?
We're doing a caramel tone.
So it can't be purple.
Yeah, we don't want it to be purple.
It's just at the hard end, it's got a lot of colour build up in there.
Just keep washing it. If it doesn't come off, go grab another brush.
See?
Oh, okay.
It's not coming out.
Yeah, you might be ready to use that one. something. Okay. Here. Oh yeah, willow under the willow tree said here. So cute, guys. So cute. Okay, I'm gonna get all this out of here. See, all that's just wasted paint, guys. If I was painting another baby at that moment, I could be using it. As you know, the magical realism paints are air dry paint, but I don't find they dry too quickly in the palette. I think you could get, like still be using it for another 1 or 2 babies. It's quite good. I've had other air dry paints that I've used in the past that have dried really quickly in the palette and really, really frustrates you. I guess it does also depend on, your own weather and, what's going on at the moment. But, yeah, it's all good.
You see, last week I used the blood red for 2 things, remember? And it didn't really get thicker till the end, and I needed to add a little bit more.
Yeah, that's true. Yes, that is true. Okay. Now, we're going to start with the finishing layer. I'm just checking if anyone, thank you so much, Phyllis. I appreciate that. Mwah. Thank you so much for helping out. Why is it orange? What is orange? What is orange? Must be the wind while your phone keeps buffering. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go on to the next one. So I might not, if anyone asks anything, I might not be able to reply to you. Sorry. So we're going to go on to the finishing layer here. It's really, really, really cool. So if you're working with Genesis, you can basically just use raw sienna if you like. It will be good if you can work with sort of the colours I'm working with. Another one thing I love doing with Genesis is I love working with red, yellow and blue. Say these were my Genesis colours. I love making caramel out of these, but it is a task and you need to play around with it, and I'm not sort of doing that today, but you basically get all of these 3 in translucent modes like you would have earlier, and then you get something like your pipette, and you get a little bit of red, put it in the center of your palette, a little bit of yellow, center of the palette, and blue, etc. I think the blue less of, you need more red and yellow, and you mix it together to make a caramel, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's my most favorite color to mix, but it takes a little bit of mucking around with. So for the purpose of the classes, and because they're just beginner classes, easy going, we're just starting using the raw sienna, and I'm using burnt umber. You can use raw sienna by itself, but as you can see, it's a little bit mustardy. It's not as much caramelly. So the burnt umber actually brings it down to more of a caramel tone, and it's really quite nice. So this is where we get a little bit difficult working with the heat set paints, because it gets confusing because there's so many colours. But if you can work together just sort of as we've gone, I know I'm probably saying confusing stuff now, but anyway, you'll get me as I go. Okay, so with the raw sienna, I'm using 8 drops. I'm going to do it in the centre here. You don't have a centre, so just do it in your typical thing. It's just because I always work with my centre when I'm doing the finishing layer. It's just the thing I do. This is a bit stuck in the middle. Do I have a little needle somewhere close? Sound good? Okay, so this generally doesn't happen. Oh, throw it on the ground. Generally doesn't happen. But if it does, and it's just a bit slow to come out, just get like a felting needle and just push it down. It might have just been that you left the lid off a little bit too long when you were mixing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you're working with 2 babies, I would definitely say do a double mix, okay? So you would do 16. If you're working with Genesis Heat Set Paint, I would say a swipe on one side and a swipe on the other side of your raw sienna. Okay, so I'm just going to give this a bit of a mix, and we're going to add in 4 drops of the burnt umber. If you're working with Genesis Heat Set Paints, I would say using just one side of your paintbrush, even
Paint
half. Can you get one off for me too, please? Okay, so 4 drops of burnt umber. Spotty dog, how cute! Sorry, I'm just going. Oh, it looks like a cookie actually.
Oh.
Whoa. Okay, and then 12. 4. And then 12 drops of the thinning medium. So for working with odorless, probably about half of your little palette, 12. So mix that together and it should turn out to be the most beautiful caramel tone that you could ever imagine. Just imagine like caramel chocolate. It's a beautiful tone. So pretty. And then we need, it says, well, I've gone ahead and done something stupid. It says for me to fill up the rest of my paint well with water. Well, I can't do that. So you guys fill up the rest of your paint well with water. You can do yours, it'll be fine. And I'm just going to wing it to what I think it would be. It's such a lovely colour. I get so emotional about it. Could you race in and get us 2 cosmetic wedges, please? Because I want to do 2 fresh ones for us. So yes, at this stage, have your cosmetic wedges out.
Standard ones or?
Get us a couple of jumbo, mate. And again, just wipe your brush off. Get your paper towel and it should be a nice translucent colour. Look at that. It's a beautiful flesh tone, isn't it? Isn't it lovely? But with this flesh tone, it's just a hint of yellow in it. So it works out perfectly. It really does. But that's perfect. Thank you. So with your cosmetic wedge, make sure we're going to rip off the edge. So grab mainly fully at the end and just grab this end and rip it off. Like that. You can do it. You can do it. Use your power.
There you go.
Yeah, it's perfect. Okay, now what other exciting things am I trying to talk about? I don't know because I'm just so excited because I've got my colour. Okay, I'm going to go with the testing limb just to show you how it looks on my testing limb. It's hardly visible still, okay? And just once it's on there, I'd be pouncing it out. Okay.
It looks like iced coffee.
Yay, it's perfect. If it looks like iced coffee, you pretty much nailed it. So get it on your paper towel. How's everyone going? Just checking everything before I keep going. Gigi's got to have to go to the doctor's. Okay, Gigi. You don't have raw sienna. Okay. If you don't have raw sienna, you might have to use the three amigos. Or unless you have, what's the other yellow colour?
Ochre.
Ochre. Do you have ochre? Yes, that's great. That's okay, Trisha. You can rewatch later. Nana, I'm going to try to get back to you as we're going, but if I don't, please message me afterwards. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to keep moving with it. I'll try to keep looking back, check your message. So once you've done it on the testing limb and you're happy with it, yeah, you might have to take flesh and add Genesis heat paint. You can do that. You can definitely do that. You can, work with it and play with it a bit. Reborn on the Sun said, LOL, I was getting concerned about does colour suit. Okay, cool. Okay, so what we do with this is we literally paint it on. That's why it's kind of fun, because I love just being able to paint it on. Okay, so just paint it on. You can go back and forwards, whatever you want, but don't go too far when you're a air dry person, because you've got to pounce that out before it sets. You need to have it pounced out. Genesis people, you'll love it. You can do a little bit more and it just goes everywhere, and it's quite, what is that word when things are just make you feel good about it? It's like not rewarding. I always forget the word lately. Because it's not rewarding. It is kind of a rewarding feeling. You just do it and it just makes you feel really good about it. But yeah, you just paint it on like that and then pounce it out.
Do I have to wipe the brush really good before we paint it on?
Not really good, but just a little bit to get a little bit of excess off so it doesn't run everywhere. But you do want to be able to sort of paint and get further with your paint, so you need more on your brush. You can see my sponge and the colour that we are taking off. Marie said, question, could we do more peachy colour for this step? Definitely, if that's the colour you want to go with and it works for you, definitely. And that's how you're forming your own artistic, way of everything. So that's really good. Thanks. That was a really great question.
How would you make it more peachy though?
I'd have to sort of play around to make myself a peachy colour, to work out what colours you'd need and everything. But even like if you wanted to go like a more Hispanic colour, or an AA colour, you could just be using something like Flesh O2 or something like that. And once you pounce it off, it really takes most of the darkness out and would leave you with the colour you want. Now with this layer 2, we can do it a few times. If we're not happy the first time with the level of colour we've got and we want it to be a little bit darker or something, that's when you can come in and do another layer after your first layer dries. So hopefully you can just see it there. I'm not sure. I'll probably have to finish it before I can actually show you the differences between each piece. Just make sure you keep mixing as you go. It's very important you get in there with a sponge and you blend it. Otherwise, because of us using the paintbrush directly onto the kit, it will leave lines. So you need to make sure you blend it with your sponge, and that it is good to have that textured sponge by pulling the top off. So if you didn't get out of what I was trying to say before, I might have not put it across very well. This is really where you sort of, because it's a finishing layer, it's really where you come to the colour of skin that you sort of want, if I'm putting it the right way. All of the other layers, they did obviously bring up the colour of the baby, but they're more so working on, your details as well as colour. When this one sort of really finishes it off with a colour that you want, whether it's getting it darker or, like Maria said, like a peachier look. And it blends everything together, so it sort of brings them all into looking like more like undertones. Please remember our heat set people too, that those layers you did before on the lips and nails needed to be heat set before you worked on this layer. Make sure you don't get any pooling in any of your creases. So have a good look at your kit before you put it down and start on your next one, to whether you need to do a bit of pouncing with a brush in any of those. And sometimes you can see in between the creases, they look a bit shiny, but you can't see the colour too much. Well, that will dry as a colour, so be careful. So here we're looking at the moment. Looking so pretty. So anything that was a bit harsh before might start to really tone down and not look as harsh. If you looked at my cheeks before, they sort of looked a little bit blotchy, and now that caramel has sort of just toned it down a bit, made it a little bit softer. Okay, so I'm going to keep going on with everything, and then we'll work out at the end whether I might want to go with another layer or not. But just to get a difference of the colour, it's hard to see, but you can see that there's a light difference there between the two. It'll be easier to see once I do have two legs side by side. So I'll just put Emerson's head there, and I'll start with the leg. Don't forget, if you are working with two babies, when you made this mixture, you should have made like a double mixture, just so you don't run out. When you're putting the magical realism on at this stage, it might even be a little bit bubbly, you know, because that might be the excess, not excess, but the water in the mixture. Don't worry about that. That's fine. Once we pounce on, it'll sort of all dissipate and clear out and get correct. Just make sure you get in between those toes and those areas which are not as visible normally. You know, I just love this layer. I think it's because it feels a bit more free, you know, without, you know, with being able to do, you know, your long brush strokes and everything. It's just nice. It's rewarding too. Nearly done the first leg. Gigi said, organise a group day and share material costs. And that's fun to do. Oh yeah, that is fun to do. Good if we could all get together and do something like that. Bit difficult though. Aisha said, hi all, this is my first time watching live. Oh, welcome. You might be a bit quiet in between painting, so I can focus on what I'm doing, but I'm glad you're here. If you have any questions, if I don't answer you straight back, I'm so sure someone will, or bring it to my attention anyway. Okay, so before I go on to the second leg, I'll just show you the difference between the two. You can see it's only slight, but this is the one I've just painted, and you can see it looks more smoother, a bit more blended, and this is the one I haven't. So you can see also, like I talked about earlier, you should be able to see, a bit further back, that this is now a little bit closer to the colour of my skin. It's a little bit lighter still, but you can see what I was talking about from the beginning, like when it's like this, that it's a little bit more so now my colour. So I'll just put that one to dry. Make sure it's not touching anything on my stand.
Lucky they got legs on.
Phyllis said, I think I choose too hard a kit to begin with. I'm going to do one with not so much orange in it. Yeah, the orange can be, orange type kits can be difficult to work with. Deanna said, I'm really scared to get started. Just take it easy and think of it like this, Deanna, less is more. So if you're making like a colour, and I've just sort of told you how to do it and make it really, really ultra translucent so you can hardly see the colour, and just build up on it. It's when people put too much colour into it that's when it gets difficult, and the paint gets a dirty look, or it's just too much. So you just need to start low, and then as you get confident and you feel, okay, that's a little bit too light, might just add a little bit more colour to it. So little bit by little bit your colour will come up, and you'll just do it and you're like, oh my God, that's it, that's the colour. So that's how I suggest when people are a little bit frightened of it. Just start with something that's not as full on. Make sure you're just following the tutorial, testing it on a testing limb, testing it on a paper towel over and over again. Look at it. And really, I mean, you know, we're not silly. We can tell when something looks see-through or when it looks too solid. And what we're just going for is a nice translucent see-through kind of colour. I'll just show you again from the paint that I'm working at the moment. This is what colour it looks like. So that is what actual colour is coming on. Oh, I dropped my thing. Is coming onto my kit with every pounce that I'm doing, with every brush. So the paint, it's hardly visible, but it is, if you know what I mean. Like see the end, how that's just light, but it will be going on and making a difference. That's what I'm trying to say. And it's very rewarding too when you're making the baby yourself. It goes down to what's in the eye of the beholder. So I guarantee you, even if you haven't done a really great job, you will fall in love with your own work, and you will be really proud of yourself. And with every single baby you make, I can guarantee you this too, and that is that you'll get better with every baby. It never fails. I still get better with every baby. I mean, there's some babies that I find are not as good as the last, but generally better with every baby. And I find too, just taking time, which I know sometimes can be really hard in the reborn industry because you've got people putting pressure and time limits on you, but you've got to sort of take yourself out of that role if you're making a baby for someone, and try not to give them unrealistic time frames. My time frames now for making a baby is 1 year, and that's because I have a lot of babies that I have to make. But people tend to be happy with that anyway, because during that time they can pay off a baby, they can take their own time to pay off the baby, and it puts less stress on them too. Not many people these days have, the money just to be able to fork out for a baby to have it created in, say, 6 to 8 weeks. So give yourself a bit of, a break, and give yourself time to do what you've got to do. Okay, so I'm happy with that. So I'm going to put that on the stand, and we're going to work with the arms. Oops. And then we will work on a few little parts of the baby, like little scratches and that, before we move on to doing any nails or sealing. And that's just an optional extra for anyone who wants to do it, if you know what I mean. Don't forget, if you're working on a fist or a hand or in between your fingers, in between your toes, I do suggest getting a little brush in there to just pounce out any excess fluid. Whoa, Emerson, don't go face forward. Now, sorry if I did miss anything, just seeing if there's any. You can, paint over everything with the caramel layer. Don't be frightened, just go with it. It'll just help to blend everything. Miss Debbie has a question. Okay, Miss Debbie said, I'm at the beginning of my first kit right now. I put on 2 layers of kit prep solution. I feel like I use too much liquid. Kind of worried. Is this common? So what is the point? What's the thing that's making you feel like you use too much solution? I say as long as you've got, say your cosmetic wedge and you're just pouncing it all out and it's all nice in a nice thin layer, there's no bubbling or anything, that should be fine. It should be fine. It should blend through with just your pouncing. As long as it's not pooling in any of your creases or anything, you shouldn't have a worry, mate. The book says 2 drops. The book says 2 drops. Is that of the Reborn kit prep? Normally with the kit prep, just put a couple of drops on your cosmetic wedge and then pounce it over your kit. And you might definitely need more than 2 drops. Step 2. Step 2. Let me go back without wrecking what I'm doing. Come on, step 2. Step 2. Squeeze a few drops onto a clean cosmetic wedge, pounce over the entire kit, adding more kit prep to your sponge as needed. Yeah, so just keep going. So the 2 drops, put onto your sponge, pounce over. When you feel like it's getting a little bit dry or you can't really see it coming onto the kit, add a couple more drops and just keep going. So you can add more, that's fine. Okay, so that's my arm. One more arm to go.
I didn't have enough.
Just show, you can use some of mine. And just show you the difference between the 2 there. You can just see there's a light difference. So after you've done all of this caramel layer, sit back. Obviously, if you're air dryer, then you can just let your kit dry. If you are working with the heat set paints, let it dry before you actually heat set it. But before you go ahead, you can think about whether you want to darken it up a little bit more. So if you feel you're looking at the kit and you're thinking, oh, I'd like it just a tad darker, then add another layer. You can use different colours like I was mentioning before if you want more of a Hispanic or AA sort of looking skin. You can use like a, say like Flesh O2 or something like that. I do have Flesh O2 available in Magical Realism. I don't think I've got it up on our website yet. Not sure, do I?
No.
No, I don't. No, I don't. There will be a flesh set being released soon. We're just waiting for some more containers to put them in, because our containers come from China and sometimes they can take a little bit longer than we want. So we have to be a bit patient. The paints are made here in Australia, so I can make them fairly quickly, but I've got to wait for the containers, these little containers and things. That's what holds me up with my paints. Again, remember to get in those creases. Look, my phone wants me to do a torso twist again off my watch. So I'm just finishing off this arm and then I'll see if there's any questions there that I need to answer. You can definitely tell that some of the paint started to pool in those creases, so make sure it's blended out. Okay, so that is lovely. Now I can just set that one across to dry for a moment. Okay, now I'll set you guys up so I can talk to you for a moment. You can have my caramel there. Just go back for a minute. My crazy Nan said, hello Annette and ladies, is the 3mm starter kit of air dry paints enough for one baby? Yes. I mean, I shouldn't do this because I'm trying to sell my paints, but it's amazing how many a 3mm can get. Do I have a 3mm size here? I'm not sure. Or are these all 3mm? I think they might be. Yes, these are 3mm. So this is your 3mm size, and this is your 5mm. Sorry, guys. I'll make it happen. Okay. 3mm and 5mm, right? So there's not much difference. And then you go up to the 10mm, like that. And then there's a 30mm, which is, this is my 30mm. So I'll just bring those up, as you can see. So you can see the 3mm is the yellow. Now, seriously, the 3mm, I mean, it depends how heavy-handed you are with your paints, obviously. But if you were to follow the instructions, which do come with the 3mm set, you will probably get, I reckon, about 8 babies out of one lot of paint. Now, I shouldn't say that because I should try to encourage you to buy a bigger set. But no, I'm not here to make money. I'm here to make money, but not like that. I like to be honest. I do say, though, with the set, you will normally need to rebuy another kit prep and matte varnish. So that's the colours that you need to probably get after the second or third baby. You would need to get more kit prep and matte varnish. But the rest of them, yeah, it really goes a long way. It could even be more than 8 babies. I haven't tested it. But I'm really impressed at how far this paint goes. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. Tina said, going for now, Annette, not well. Not that well tonight, but hope all you ladies had a great night. Thank you so much for just popping in anyway. We appreciate it. Several babies. Good, yes. Edie said, Tina, feel better soon. Definitely. Miss Debbie said, I love this book. It's great for all us A-type personalities. Awesome. I like that. I'm glad. I really put a lot of effort into that. This was all handwritten by me, everything. I plan in the future to do other books, which will be for, your AA and your Hispanic colours. You will be able to buy this book alone, but at the moment I do not have it available for sale by itself, mainly because I'd like to get a thicker cover before I sell it as just a book only. At the moment, it's just the instructions that come free with every set of magical realism paints. Mama said, I'm at a standstill while babies cook. All right, we'll be like in an elevator. Sounds good. Deanna said, mam. I always do it wrong. It's mama, like grandma, but mama. I don't know why I said. Just don't bother me. Why do people ring? It's no one I know, so I will not answer. I'm going to do the scratch now. I will do the scratch before I go on to my nail tips. Okay, hang up then. How rude. Maxine said, I have the 3 mil, gave loads left, starting to buy 10 mil. Okay, cool. Good. Charmin said, thank you so much, Annette, for your charm. Beautiful work. Aww. Brandy said, I feel like I need more thinning medium. Yes, that's actually probably true. The thinning medium was another one that you'd probably go through a little bit more than the colours. But I'm also spoilt from Genesis heat set paint sticking to my baby. Right. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, you spoiled from the Genesis heat set paint sticking to baby right off. Okay. You think your lips are too red, Nana? Do a counteract. Like I said, get a colour wheel and look at what colour is the opposite to red to counteract the two. So it is great, obviously, to have a colour wheel in your Reborn toolkit. I always love to have everything we need in a real Reborn toolkit. But if you don't have the money for it, just simply go on Google and look at the colour wheels under your images. Let's just get a colour wheel up and you can see, let's just see with that. With red, they would want you to counteract that with a green. So you could do like a lime layer. That will bring down the red. And then you might be able to bring it back up doing the blue and the red again. But the green should bring it right down. Julie said, I can't wait to get the 30 mil kit. It's huge value and you get lots of more babies made. That's very true. It's true. Brandy said, I thought it was Mamau, like the Queen is great grandma. Mama. You confuse me, guys. And Reborn on the Sun said, Annette, you're an awesome instructor. Thank you. Love you too. Green. Okay, I know, scary, right? But, if anyone's ever scared, get your little, let's say you got your test limb and you go and do a red layer, right? Just do a bit of red there. Do some red. And then do your green layer over the red. And you'll see how it comes up. Before you actually go to do it on your kit and feel like you're making a big mistake, it takes 1 moment to do the red. And you can do it as red as you like underneath. You can do it on your testing limb or you can do it under your base of your kit. That's the best way to do it. Just test it before you're actually doing it on the real thing. My Crazy Nan said 8 babies. I'm shocked. Thank you so much, Annette. 3 mil seems like nothing in your videos. You love my videos? Cool. Well, another tip, which I've actually got to change on the website. But these are supposed to be 3 mil sizes. But when I actually measured, I'm actually sending out more like 4 mil. So you're getting more for your money. I've got to completely measure it so I can put the sizes up on my website. But you're actually at the moment getting a bonus. And I won't be charging any more when I do put the realistic sizes up. I just want people to realistically know what goes in it. But I was quite surprised that the 3 mil only came to about there. And I fill it right to the top of that line. So it's got to be about 4 mil. But I haven't perfectly measured it. Maybe it might even be 5 mil. But it's weird, isn't it? But yeah, it's quite surprisingly. I'm not going to mention any other brands of paint, air dry paint. But I've had one customer come to me only a few weeks ago, said they bought a brand new brand of air dry paint and they couldn't believe they hardly got one baby out of it. They were so shocked and so disappointed, and they paid a lot of money for it and they were really disappointed. And I thought, that's when I made these paints, I made them with the full thought of people that really couldn't afford it. Now I know, like, if you buy a 3 mil set, it's like $75. I get it. That's still a lot of money. But then when you break it down into how many babies you'll make, it works out. It's great. And they're lasting too. They don't dry up quickly. As long as you put the lid on, they're great. Grandma, Mama. That's right? Mama. My Crazy Nan said, I've got a Tink kit on the way and I'll get the other supplies from Aussie Reborn Supplies. Might have to get a few things at a time. Yeah, fine. A few things at a time, it's good. And Mama says, oh, Crazy Nan, I love the Tink. Tink is beautiful. Thank you. Christine has said, question, Annette, what does the medium do that water doesn't? The medium actually just helps it to stick to your kit a little bit better and settle better. I find if you're only using water, it kind of it gets too beady, like it sits beady, like beaded water on an oily surface. Like if you think about, you've just washed the car, you've just waxed it, and you put water on it and it sort of beads. It sort of acts like that. But when you use the thinning medium, it sort of binds the paint and the thinning and the water so it doesn't bead as much. It sits better on the kit and allows you time to blend it in and it settles. I just find it's a lot better. And if you're finding like your paint is beading too much, it's probably because you've got too much water in it. Just add a couple of drops of thinning and you're away. It comes back to perfection. My Crazy Nan said, I need a test limb. I'm scared to paint. Yeah, everyone is. You're not alone. So get yourself a testing limb, even if you get if you've got an old Reborn kit lying around or an old doll. It is better to work with vinyl, so I don't suggest too much to go out and buy an old doll from your Lifeline or your local second-hand shop, because it might not be the same sort of vinyl. But if you find something that's a vinyl, it's nice and soft, and you think it's very much like a Reborn, grab it, use it as a testing limb. Otherwise, yes, I do sell testing limbs, and I do think a lot of the other Reborn suppliers or sellers do sell testing limbs as well. And if not, you could always ask them. Angie said, I just got a baby birdie from Laura Lee Eagles. Can't wait. That was cute. So cute. Nana's Nursery said, I figured I'd just be a win-win for both of us on shipping to donate funds. Yeah, exactly. That is a win-win. That is a great idea. You get the product, I get the sale. It's just, yes, good. Christine said, if you wanted to do a biracial baby, would you just add a bit more burnt umber? Yes, that would do it. A bit more burnt umber would do it fine. Or like I said, I do sell the Flesh O2. You could ask. If I don't have a colour that you want, you can always ask, because I can make all the flesh colours from Flesh O2 to Flesh O8. So I can do that. But yeah, burnt umber will work well as well. Pumpkin said, Annette, do you have a Walmart there, which is a store? No, we don't have Walmart here. We have Kmart, which I believe is similar, but it doesn't have as much as Walmart does. Reborn Under the Sun said, I'm using a doll of for my practice until I order the 10-inch. Good. Thanks again, Julia, for doing all your sharing and putting your time aside to help me. I appreciate it. Maria said, I don't have a testing limb, but I test on lip of neck. Yes, exactly. That's perfect. So what she's saying is she doesn't have a testing limb, but she does all her testing on the lip of the neck or one of the limbs, and it's just as good. Chris said, is there a way I can get a Chucky doll that I can make? No, there isn't a Chucky created, and that's because of all, your copyright. But there is many babies you can make look like Chucky. I actually made a Chucky out of a Tibby kit, which was your big Tibby, and I did all I actually gouged out all the cuts and everything. It was so fun. But just look for a Reborn that you feel like has a Chucky look about it. Okay, all right, so we're going to just do a little bit of a start on those couple of other mini details I had to do. So sorry that we're going to take time on this. But I'll bring down the kit again, and you can decide whether you want to do this or not. So same with you, teacup. You can decide whether you want to do it or not. So first I'm going to just use a little bit of red. I'm going to do like your heel prick test, which a baby gets not long after birth. The little heel prick test. So I'm just going to use, say, a dot of red. One dot of red.
Is it their left foot or right foot?
Can be either. I don't know what foot they do it on.
I think they do it on a specific foot.
Do they?
Can we Google that?
You could Google that. By all means, Google away. So I just used 1 drop of red, and I'm just used 1 drop of thinning. And so I'm just mixing that. So I think I'm just going to use those 2 colours. And what I'll do, obviously, is I'll use my little testing first. So for that, all I do is like literally on the heel. They just do it like on the heel, outside of the heel, prick. Just do a little dot of your red. This might be a little bit too dark, so let me check it first. No, that was actually quite... Oh, look, it turned into a love heart. That's on my little test limb. So what I'm doing here, probably wait until I finish before you go ahead to do it yourself. So what I'm trying to do is just have like that. There's a dot there, right? I shouldn't have gone out a bit out there. So that dot like that. Okay? So it'll just be like a mark. Now I'm going to do that on... Did they say anything? No? Okay, so I'm going to do mine.
I have a bit more information about what it's used for, though.
On my right foot. This is actually on Emerson, so I'm just going to do like a bit of a circle like that. Pounce on it once, but not twice, because then you'll see how we've just got a little dot there. If you pounce on it again, you're going to put that paint back on. Okay, so I'm going to do it again. I'm going to make it a little bit wider. See, I did it twice. I shouldn't have done that, but it worked out well anyway. So you just want like a little dot there, okay?
Can I use your red?
No. Yes, you can. So just make sure when you do that second dot that you don't do it too much. Then what I do is I actually get a needle, our felting needle, and I get the end covered in paint, and I just go right in the middle and I do a dot with it. You can even put it straight in if you like you're giving it a needle. It's so tiny. Because if you can imagine, there would be an entry point.
Mine dripped.
Well, it's just a bit of drippy blood. Did you wipe it? Or
Yeah.
pounce it? Put a little bit of water there. Yeah. And just wipe it, pounce it off. So you can see that there's like a little pinpoint in there of where the entry point for the heel prick would be. That's basically all you have to do with that. And if you go to your chemist, you can buy the really tiny Band-Aids and you can put it over it. It's so cute. You don't need to have it that red if you don't want the blushing around it, but it will look like that when it's been actually done. And like I said, you can go over that point a few times, that center point, if you want to make it wider. But that's all you need to do for something like that, okay? You might choose to do it or not do it. It's completely up to you. Now someone is sending like 1 billion messages. Who would that be? I do not know. They can just wait. Okay, I'm just going to see if anyone else is there. My crazy Nan said, I've never seen a Reborn in person. Do you know if there will be a doll show somewhere this year nearby? I live in Logan. Yeah, that's fine. Do another dot in the middle again. I'm in Ipswich. Are you able to get to Ipswich in April 14th, I think it is. That's a doll show. I'll be there. And there's so much to look at there. It's great. Phyllis said, how do you do dry skin or a peeling layer? I've actually not done that, so I wouldn't like to give advice on that one. Unfortunately, you could probably, if I was to do it straight out, yeah, that's good. If I was to do it straight up, I'd probably do maybe an extra matting, which makes it sort of like a whitish look. Christine said, how do you make up Flesh O2 with magical realism? I've got a Flash O2 that I sell. So if you can either buy the Flesh O2 magical realism, or you can just use something like burnt umber if that's all you've got. Okay, so with the scratch, again, I'm not going to do it directly onto Emerson. But you would do something very similar. Maybe get a little bit of water into this because we don't want it to be, you don't want it to go onto the kit and appear like a line. You want to be able to blend it out, okay? So taking extra paint away, and let's just say I just do a little line, something like that, just a little line. So what we're doing when I'm blending that is I'm just turning it into like the outside of a little scratch, right? Because if you ever see a scratch, it's normally a bit red around the outside of the scratch, and that's because it's like, well, not necessarily a bit infected, but you know what I mean. It's a point of a scratch. So you'll need it something like that. So the edges will be blended into the actual kit without being too full on. And then again, just get something like your little needle and just sort of literally scratch it down the center. Do that hurt ears?
Give me goosebumps.
And if it won't scratch down the center, which that did. If it won't scratch down the center, you might need to do it just a little bit slower. And you can just do like dots by dots beside each other. I'll try to show you that a little bit better. Just dotting along with the colour red. Now you can go over it lightly, just the lightest damp. So you can take any excess fluid off, but it'll still leave like a centre scratch. So I don't know if you can see that just there, that there's a scratch in the middle of it. And then like when you come to say a glossing, you can just put a little bit of a dab of gloss over it. Now I will do it on Emerson's cheek just a little bit. Hopefully his mum won't mind. So just so you can see what it'll look like. You can choose to do the scratch as little or as big as you like. And remember, the blending part of it, you want to be blended. So do it fairly quickly to stop any air drying paint. So you can see I've just done it just there. And just poor little baby. Okay, so it's the tiniest scratch in there, tiny. So you can see it just there. I can see he's got a little scratch. So that again, the first part is just so it's like that point of entry that the baby has scratched itself. Just like that. And that's all you really need to do. You can just see it's just the tiniest little scratch there. And you can decide wherever you want it to go. You might even want it on the nose or something like that. You can do that. Okay, so I'm also going to show you the little white milk dots as well, but we'll do the nails first. My crazy Nan said 14th of April. Oh, I hope I can make it. I guess you will talk about it more as it gets closer. Yeah, I will. I'll talk about it more as it gets closer. Ah, there you go, Phyllis. Yeah, I'm about to do that. So there we go. I'm going to do the milk acne, or milk dots as we also call it. Okay, I'm just going to wipe that away. So the milk dots, when we do the milk dots, we can use the same paint as we're going to use to do the nails. So there again, you can see his little scratch on the side of his face.
One up high.
Yeah. Are you still doing a scratch?
I haven't done it yet.
Are you
I
going
was
to?
trying to find
I just
where
wiped
to
all the
put
way.
it.
I just wiped away all the paint. Do you want me to make you some?
Yeah, I don't.
You don't. It's not a thing you have to do.
No, I want to do it, but I don't know where to put it. My boys scratched their nose.
The nose, yeah. Yep. Often in there.
So that's where I want to put it. How do I do it? Just one drop
Just
of
one
red?
drop of red, one drop of thinning, and just probably do also a drop of water with this one. So while she's doing her little scratch, I'll show you again the little dot. You can see the point of entry there. And one thing, another thing that's really cute that I've done once I had a baby that had that, like I said, I went to the chemist and I bought the ultra little small Band-Aids, which you can use for your fingers and that. But if you go to the medical sites, you can actually buy the actual utensil that gives the baby the heel prick test. It's like a little thing that they just hit and it releases a quick jabby needle.
Like
and
a diabetes test.
Yeah, like a diabetes tester, but it's actually the one for the heel prick test. And what I did is I sent the baby off with the heel prick and had a little Band-Aid, and I sent the heel prick test, which I had used so it couldn't be used again and hurt anyone. I didn't use it for anyone, just for the fact of pretending. And I put it like in a little sealed baggie, and I wrote on the bag, baby's first, heel prick test, and that was something cute that I sent along with the baby. You right?
I don't think I think it's too red.
Do you want to test it on your testing limb first? Pretend you're doing it there. Yeah, so that was a really, really neat idea, just to make it a little bit more realistic, like a real baby. There again, you can see his little scratch. Very tiny. Now, if you decide that you don't want to do the bit of blushing around the scratch, you don't have to. You could just do the scratch. But generally, if you see a baby, it won't just have just a scratch there. It'll be like a hint of red or pink, like just around the scratch. So I'll just see if there's anyone else have anything to say before I go on to doing our nail tips. Yeah, that's perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Just that in the paint and just scratched it on.
Yep, you can do that. Scratching, that's when needles are excellent. Give it a scratch, it'll be okay. Miss Debbie said, when is your grandbaby due? And are we going to get to see it soon after birth? Within the first month? You're going to see so much of it, Miss Debbie. So she's 23 weeks. She's actually here today. She's having a little bit of sleep at the moment. But from 30 weeks, we're doing belly watch. So once a week, I'll be doing a live stream of belly watch. It might only go for 10 minutes. It depends how the baby's going at the time. In that time, I'll sort of read out like what stage of pregnancy she's up to and what we would expect if, baby sizes and all that. So I'll be reading out that and we'll be just watching the baby have a bit of a kick. So we'll be doing that. That's perfect. That's perfect.
I didn't pounce it though.
That's okay. It looks perfect. If you want to add more, do it. But I think it looks perfect.
I'm going to do another one on the side.
Yep, she's going to do 2. She's gone for it. So anyway, so that'll be for 30 weeks till 40 weeks. And then obviously the birth. I'll be getting as much as I will be doing recording of the birth, and you will actually see only good bits, of course. I'll be doing a video up of that. And then we'll be doing live baby watch. So we'll be, for a little while, I'll do weekly videos of just watching a baby. It might be asleep in its crib, and you're just watching the baby get to that moment of waking up. It might be having a bath or something. If it's doing a bath, obviously we're going to cover his little parts. But a lot of people don't ever get to see that in real time. So that's what we're doing that. And you'll watch him grow up and start talking to you and start crawling. I'll be doing it all. So stick with me. If you don't have your own grandbaby, you can share mine. I'll let you. Good. Are you happy? I love it.
I love them.
Good. So she's done 2 scratches. She's one just one up there, which is a perfect fresh scratch. And then this one just in the eye there. Perfect. So she's trying to think of what her own sons did and just replicating that. So that's a really good idea. Pumpkin said, how do you get the foot looking like it was just born? I'd say, again, play around with it. Look at pictures on Google of newborn feet and try to get the colour right from there. Angie said, scratch is so cute. It adds a realism. It does. And Phyllis said, where do we find care instructions to send with box sends? I don't know anyone that sells anything like that. I should actually make them and sell them, shouldn't I? Because I've got some care instructions myself. What a great idea. But if you need them, Phyllis, let me know and I'll send you through my ones. You can rewrite it to what you want to say or anything. Precious said, hello, I made it. Good, good, good. And Reborn on the Sun and Pumpkin said, teacup, it looks great.
Thanks.
Google it, care instructions. Okay, that's a good idea too. Okay, let's bring you back down again. We're getting close to the end, but I'd really like to get these nails done. Next week we can get on to the matte varnish for the finish. Okay, so with the nail tips, we need to get the Flesh 08. So once again, if you're working with Genesis Heat Set Paint, just use Flesh 08. And I'm going to use 2 drops. So all you'll really need is about if you think about a pea, like an actual pea that we eat, a green pea, half the size of a pea. Let's go half the size of a pea. This is just for your Genesis Heat Set Paint workers, and for us, we're just working with 2 drops of the Flesh 08. Then we're coming in with white, and for your magical realism, air dry people, we'll go with 4 drops of white. And for your Genesis Heat Set people, I want you to go with a pea size of white. A pea size. No, that isn't mixed well enough. Four of those. Just give it a little mix together. And it should produce a really nice light flesh colour. You can see that there? Yep. Okay. So then we need to add some thick medium and mix about half the size of a pea. I've got to get my little spatula. It's funny when I say spatula because my surname is Batchelor. So, and everyone used to call me Spatula at school. Okay, so half the size of a pea of your thick
That way
medium.
you don't like the bacon and eggs song.
No, didn't hear. Did they say that in it? Do they? Something about the Bachelor.
No, but spatula is what
spatula.
you use to.
Oh right, smarty pants. Okay, so about the half of the size of a pea of your thick medium. So, and if you're working with Genesis heat scent paints, you can either use your thinning medium because it's a thick compound. Use your thinning medium, or you can use thick medium. And about I would go like a pea size for you guys.
Is that enough?
Yep, looks good to me. Hi Patricia, I love you. Okay, so now again I'm going to get my testing limb, and I'm really happy with how that nail turned out there, isn't it nice? So get a nice thin script liner brush or something really nice and fine. I'm using this one because I do love the tips on these things. And all you need to do is do a line along the top of the nail. Try to hold your kit somehow. You need to be able to hold it like perfect. You need to be able to ground yourself. So like I like to, like this leg is against my chest and then my hands are all grounded. Grounding it keeps you going, not wiggling so much, not being shaky. So there we go there. Isn't it pretty? So if you're happy with it, if you're not happy with it, obviously go along your testing limb, do all your legs and everything. If you're working with the bottom, all you need to do is just visualize and just do like a little bit of a moon shape. Get more paint on there might help. Oh, that didn't work. But you sort of get what I mean. You can just sort of visualize how you do it and just do a little test. So when we get to nails, I also want to tell you this. If you want, see how my thumbnail there, oh look at that, how my thumbnail there has the moon. What do they call that? Is it?
I don't know.
I forget the name of it. But anyway, you know what I mean. Sorry, I've got my fingernail. Anyway, so that moon, you can do that. So once you've done, this is my testing limb, guys. So once you've done the actual nail tip there, you can just get in the bottom of the nail right here and just do a half moon in the bottom there. Just ever so carefully. Just like that. Sweet as. And we don't want that to appear too full on. So you can either get like another brush or even something like this, like your little cosmetic Q-tips or whatever, and just come in and just like tap on that moon just to lighten it, because we don't want it to appear as dark as the nail tip. So that's how you do that little moon there. And by tapping it, you're just making it a little bit lighter and not as visible, but it's still there. So you can decide whether you want to do those little half moons on your nails. A lot of people won't do it on everyone, especially when we've got these super duper tiny nails. You might just want to do it on your big toe or just on your fingernails. So make sure every time that you try to ground yourself, because that will just stop you from making a mistake. And if you do make a mistake, just get in real quick with a cosmetics wedge and pounce it off. I find using my own fingernails helps a lot. Oh, look, I just did it on my own finger. I'm supposed to do it on myself. So if I go out of line a little bit, I'll just get my nail in there. It's perfect, and just sort of straighten up an edge.
Do you have scissors anyway? Close by.
I might have over on the ground over there, but I'm not sure.
I'll get the ones from here.
Does your baby need nail cuts already?
No, this paintbrush has a string.
All right. So just ever so lightly there. And just take your time. No rushing.
Oops.
But are really weird because the big toe is sort of lower than the other toes. It sort of gets in the way. The other toes get in the way. Okay, so there's Emerson's toe there. And now I'm going to go and do all the other toenails, which are so small. Tell you what, when you're young, you take good eyesight for granted. It's harder to see. Don't get old, Teacup.
I'm already there.
Get out. Get off this planet. Just take it really slow. I wish my phone would stop getting messages. It's driving me nuts.
It sounds like you're just liking a whole heap of stuff on Facebook. Stay.
It's a ghost like okay. So there we go there. Cute as. Stop.
Grandbaby's due on the 25th, isn't it?
24th, I think.
Oh, Thursday, 25th.
Why? Do you want the day off that day?
No, Braxton was due. The first date they gave me was the 25th.
Oh, really?
The second date they gave me was the 27th. And he was born on the 27th.
Can't freaking wait, hey? I have dreams that, I had a dream the other day that he was born and that everyone kept bothering me. And I was like, I had to go and, Amy wanted something from home, so I had to go home and get something. And I just wanted to spend time with her and the baby. And then someone else wanted something. And I was just like, I just want to spend time with my grandbaby.
That's a nightmare. That's not a dream.
Yeah. I guess it's just telling me that I've got to put everything aside. And just make sure I do what I want to do. Fingers are great too. If you make a little bit of a smudge, just get even your finger in really quickly and pounce on it. Oh, stop. Did I tell you that I had my notification tone for that as the dog barking? You would have heard it. And it was driving me absolutely crazy. And it was one day I was having a bit of anxiety day, and the dog just kept barking and barking and barking. And I'm thinking, oh, I've got to change it because it's stressing me out even more. Took me about another 10 minutes to work out how to change it. And in that time, someone was just sending me a million messages. So it's just going, and I'm like, oh my God, stop.
I have a dog at my house too. Yeah. She lives in a cage inside. And she started mimicking the dog next door already.
Are you talking about your bird?
Yeah.
Oh my God, no.
Yeah. I heard her last night. I was like, oh gosh.
That would be cute though.
Took 4 months to learn how to say a name. And barking took her not even a day.
What name did she say?
Charlie.
Charlie, which is her name?
Charlie, yep.
Aww.
She says, what you doing, Charlie? Hello, Charlie.
That's so cute. Stop. Whoever's messaging me, please stop.
My nails look horrible.
No, they don't.
They do. That one's there so flat that I couldn't even make a nail.
Yeah, sometimes it's very difficult, the actual nail itself. It's not the artist. It's just trying to make it look good. You can see my nails there. Okay. Sorry for those who are watching very patiently with me. I do understand whoever has to go. But just after this, I've done these nails. Actually, no. Yeah, no. I'm just going to finish these nails. We're going to be patient. This one has great big fingernail, thumbnail. Let's go here on the finger. Hairy knuckles already.
He's been eating his crust.
Yeah. Okay, that one looks so cute. It can be very difficult. So if you get down in those knuckles and you can have a chance to push them out, try to do it. Oh, it gets so difficult. Oh.
The thing that's pissing me off is my brush.
Your brush?
It's got little bloody strands everywhere that keep going.
You can go in and get a script liner if you want. If you feel that'd be better.
No, I don't. Oh, what's that? The smaller one?
Yep.
No, I've only got 3 to go. I'll just...
Suck it up?
Yep, suck it up. Buttercup.
These are really good for this moment when you need to get in there and you can't get your nail in there. Those nice sharp tips. And if it's a really, really difficult area to get in, you can always say get in with put a bit of extra paint on your tip and just dot it along that line instead of lining it. Look at that.
I haven't done every nail like a moon shaped either.
No, I just did the thumbnail.
Because, no, not that bit down the bottom, like at the top.
Oh, yeah.
Because 3 of my nails are square and the other 2 are round.
All right.
So that's what I've done.
That's really good, out of the box, out of the thought thinking that not all babies have little round moons. Fingers. In there was really difficult. Okay, so just the one hand next. I've really got to see who is messaging me 1,000 times. I'm not even getting 1,000 messages. What is going on? Must be
Are they
just
comments?
Must be just a reminder or something that those messages are there. I'm not sure.
Comments make that sound.
That's my ringtone thing.
Oh.
My notification. I just go off and off and off. Stop. Okay, nearly ready, guys. Got 2 more nails to go, and then I can show you my little milk dots. This one's going really well, thank goodness. Those nails in there have just worked out lovely. And then that one thumbnail. That one isn't lovely.
I want my one on my test one better.
Was it that?
Perfect.
Was it the shape of it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that is nice. You got to remember too, you will do, sometimes you'll do the most perfect nails and other times there'll be a little bugger and you'll just be like, oh, crazy. That's why we just got to give ourselves the time to do it.
I need to, I think, counteract some yellow.
Yeah.
On her nose and on her chest.
Yeah.
Because at the moment she just looks like she's been given CPR and she's bruised.
Okay, so next week when we're working on like the, when I'm going to start on the hair and that or whatever, you could do that if you want. And then catch up on the hair.
So I just like...
Or I'll have to work out what colour you need to do.
Yeah.
It wouldn't take too long. Maybe even start a little bit. If you get here at 8:30, you can start earlier. Okay, so that's good with that. Okay, so now before I go on the milk dots, I'll just check if there's anything. Laurie has said, Annette, I don't know if you remember me worrying about my baby being too mottled. I do. After the caramel colour, she is perfect. I can't thank you enough for all your help and teaching. I love you. I love you too, and I do remember you, and I'm so glad that it worked out well for you and that you really stuck with it and did it well. Oh, good. For my Reborn said, I find using a toothpick works better for me than a brush. Putting nail tips on, that's a good idea. That's nice and solid and it wouldn't move everywhere too. That's really good when you're doing the milk dots as well, but I'm going to be using just my needle. So with that, you just basically get some of your nail mixture on the needle and just do some gentle dots. Just almost like you're doing freckles.
I can't do mine yet.
Oh yeah, you'll have to wait. So almost like you're doing freckles. You don't want them too much. Some people can decide to do more all over the place. Some people will only choose to do 1 or 2. Some people will choose to do none. But it is really good. A toothpick would do this as well as just the needle. But as you can see, and because we use thick medium, that has given that a bit of texture. So once that dries and we just put our hand over it, we'll be able to feel those little milk pimples, like milk dots like that. And you can choose whether just to do them on the nose like that. You can do them around the rim of the nostril here. You could go along the cheek if you like. And some will even put, like 1 or 2 on the chin or anything like that. If you want to make it even a little bit more so, not realistic but overwhelming, some people will do like what we did before with the heel prick. They'll do the little red spot that they've blushed, and then right in the middle, they'll do that bit of flesh that we just did for the nail tip. And they'll make it a little bit bigger so it's a bit more like a pimple size, but then you've got the little red underneath which shows a little bit of infection. So that's it. That's all you need to do. As you can see, that's really quite sweet and not fall on and over the top. You can see it pretty well actually on video there. But just looking at it like this, for me, looking at it like that, it's not too overwhelming and fake looking and over the top. It's just a few little dots. So you'd only really be able to see them if you're really, really looking. So we'll finish up. If you want to do any counteracting now, you can just look at the, what do you call it, a colour wheel, and, oh, it's all right, I paint on my floor all the time. Reborn Under the Sun said, Annette, since I don't have Flesh 06, can I just use white paint with my thin? You can just use white, but it will work out, it'll look a little bit too white and unrealistic. Do you have any burnt umber or any other flesh colours? So if you don't have what colours I've mentioned just then, but you do have white, use white and say with a little bit of anything brown, any light flesh, burnt umber. If you're using burnt umber, just like you say like the tip of that brush and mix it in. It'll just give it that off-white look, which is what we want. We don't want the full-on white, which it just wouldn't be. I mean, if you look at babies' nails, they're not even like that. They're normally very translucent, very thin. So that's what you need to go for. So there's a lot of way of getting around colours, if you know what I mean. Okay, make a light purple mixture. I'll help you with that if you want.
Is that what that means?
Yep. Oh, not yet. You're using acrylic air paint. Okay. All right. Well, if anyone's got any questions before I leave, ask away. There's purple. I would just use one purple, two thinning, and maybe 3 water, and then do it on your paper and see how it looks. Thank you, Annie.
Blend this one? Is this, I need to...
You will need to blend it, yeah. So Teacup's going to go and just try to counteract her yellow. She doesn't like her nose. She thinks it's just a little bit too yellow, and some of the parts on her chest plate she thinks is a little bit too yellow as well. So she's going to go in there and fix that. Don't forget, I'll be sharing the pictures. Oh my God. I'll be sharing the pictures of our babies that we're working on our events page later today.
Did you say 1, 1, and 1?
1, 2, and 3.
Oh.
Charmin said, I'm using heat set paints, Annette. Does it have to be sealed at the end of what do I do to use that? Yes, you will need to seal that. We'll be sort of working with our sealing next week, but if you want to go ahead, if anyone wants to go ahead and you've got all the paints already, you can do a layer of matte varnish. With the heat set paints, I normally use satin varnish. If not, you can use matte varnish. And you just got to do a nice thin layer of just that varnish all over the whole entire kit. Nice and thin and even. And yeah, then you'll have to bake it after that. Make sure anyone who has been doing your nails now, or your scratches or whatever, bit more lighter. Add another 2 of those. You go and bake it in your oven now if you're working with your heat set paints. Make sure you do that. Reborn Under the... Oh, hang on. Sonia said, just noticed that too. Looks very nice. Oh, thank you very much. Tiana cut my hair last week. Reborn Under the Sun said, okay, get brown and a bit of a beige colour. That should work. Yes, it would. Try it on your testing limb, see how it goes. Brandy said, do you always tip the nail or only if it looks long? I always tip my nails. Always do. Yeah, I always do. It's up to you if you want to or not. If you find that the white tip is too much, just make it really nice and translucent so it's just a light look. Yeah, that's good. Do that.
So just put it everywhere I want it and then pounce it.
Yep. Brandy said, of course, now that I look at my short nails, they look tipped. Our Precious Moments said to you, hi, Teacup.
Hey.
You're very welcome. Okay, so that concludes Lesson 5. Any questions, don't forget you can come to my events page, my personal page, my Instagram, wherever you can find me, and ask the question. I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can with that answer. Hopefully I can help. Maria said it's been a great class. Thanks, Annette. Good day. Thank you. Don't forget those thumbs up before you leave. I love the thumbs. You're very welcome, Michael. And thank you, Julia, again. Thank you so much for sharing my Patreon, my what was it, GoFundMe, my events page, my website. I really do appreciate all you do for me in your own time. It means the world. Bye, Deanna. Sonia said, have made lots of notes. We'll watch again when I start on my own Reborn. Awesome. Love hearing that. For my Reborn said, good day and good night, everyone. Tricia said, thanks for tonight. I love the little details. Night, everyone. Bye, Annette, and have a good week. You too. Reborn Under the Sun said, we'll see you next Monday, Tuesday. Bye, Teacup.
Bye.
Okay, so just before I go, and then I'm going to finish it off, I won't really say goodbye to anyone else because otherwise I just keep going forever. But I love you all and goodbye to you all. So next week we're going to come in and we're going to do our sealing layer. So we're going to seal all of our beautiful work we've already done. And then we're going to come in with some glossing on the lips, glossing on all of our nails. Then we'll have a look with the eyebrows and the hair. We're going to do work with the painted eyebrows and painted hair. Like I said, on Emerson, I'm actually not going to do it with paint. I'm going to do it with the Prisma pencil. So I'm going to have a second kit here, which is just like a testing head, which I'll make up the Magical Realism paint into the brow and hair paint, and I'll show you how I do it on that. But I'll also do it with the Prisma for those who prefer working with Prisma, with this little guy. So we'll work on that. I'll be working on the painted eyebrows and then the painted hair. I don't know how much we'll get through, but I'll try to show as much as I can. Hopefully I'll finish all of that. I can normally do it within that time. Just depends how much I'm talking. And then the week after, I hope to go into some actual routing. So we've done really well because, the fact is we're up to next week's lesson 6, right? Now, I've basically said I'd give 14 weeks for the lessons. 14 weeks. Now, I know doing the hair will take a little bit longer, but I think we've done so well. So that basically says if we finish next week, which will be the 6th lesson, right? Each lesson's been 2 hours. So 6 by 2 is 12. So it's only taken us 12 hours to create a baby that will have eyebrows and painted hair. That's not bad. It's the hair rooting that really takes up your time. So we've done great. Now, I have said on my events that we'll go through to 14 lessons or whatever, and we will keep going if we need to. So there we go. You have done great. I appreciate everyone sticking with me, and I appreciate all the hard work you've done. Please feel free to keep sharing with me your photos with me. I love seeing them. Edie said, good night, everyone. Annette, when you get a chance, please watch my video I sent you, Aussie Reborn Supplies email. Okay, I certainly will. So, yeah, I love seeing everyone's work. It just, it's like I said, like my own grandbabies watching everyone's work. So thank you so much. I appreciate it, all you coming by.